Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Don from 1A Auto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And the next time you need a part for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the driver's front window regulator in a 2007 Pontiac G6. It'll be pretty much the same for model years 2005 through 2010. It'll also follow most of the same steps for the passenger front window regulator. We'll show you some of the subtle differences and things that you'll need to do. You'll need a 10mm socket and socket wrench with an extension possibly, a pocket screwdriver, and a Torx 30 socket. Pull aside the little cover that covers the screw behind it. Use a T30 Torx bit on a socket driver to remove that bolt. I'm fast forwarding through the removal. With the assembly out, locate the tab that holds the cable in place, pry it with a small screwdriver. With a pocket screwdriver, release the clip that holds the harness to the unlock and lock button. We have the window down for this. On the edge of the door panel, there's a little plastic rivet. You want to push in the center and then pry out the side with a little flat blade pocket screwdriver. Pry up on the little matting that's on the inside of the door hand pull. Locate the two Torx 30 screws. Using a Torx 30 bit on a socket wrench, and I'm going to remove those two screws. I'm going to fast forward through the removal of those. Go ahead and pull your handle and switch pack assembly out of the way. You're going to see three connectors. Go ahead and press the tabs in on the gray one, same as the black. And then for the white one, you're going to use a pocket screwdriver and pry it out, pry the little tongue off the or out of the housing. Now get your fingers in between the door panel and the door itself and pop it free of the plastic clips that hold it in place. Don't forget about the clip up on the top by the mirror that covers where next to the mirror, the little triangle piece there. Pop that out, and then once you've got it out, lift it up off the jamb, off the sill, and pull it out of the way. If you're looking to do the passenger side, it's fundamentally the same as the driver's side. The only difference is the trim piece that you're going to need to remove, as you can see here, is different than the driver's side. Behind there are the two Torx 30 screws that you need to remove. And then there's also that Torx 30 that's in the handle assembly where the door unlocks, or where you open the door and you open the little cover, remove the screw, and then use your fingers to pry the door panel off. Close-up of those two Torx 30s. Peel back on the door seal there, and just be careful not to rip it. It's got some adhesive that goes around the entire way. I'm going to fast forward as I pull off the door seal. There are two 10mm screws that hold the glass to the window regulator. We're going to want to just loosen those up so that we can pull the glass out of them.
And these are cable actuated regulators, and usually what happens is the cable breaks, and in that case you can grab the window by hand and move it up and down into the correct position.
I am fast forwarding through the loosening of those two 10mm screws. The glass is now free, and I'm just going to pull it up to the very top, make sure it's still in the window channel, and then I'm going to use some painter's tape and put it on so that I can work without it falling down on me. By the upper door seal, you'll notice that there's two black kind of adhesive squares that cover some bolts, and you're going to need to take those squares, peel them back. Remove the connector that goes to the window motor by placing a screwdriver on the little tab and then pushing back out. 5 10mm screws hold the regulator in place. I'm going to fast forward as I remove those 5 screws that hold the regulator in. There's a little plastic clip that's holding a wiring harness in place there. Push it out if you have to, and then you're going to rotate the regulator kind of to the outside, to the edge of the door, and then snake it through the hole that's closest to that speaker that you see there. You can see it wants to come out kind of together, and you can do that because it's not rigid. The guides are rigid, but the cables will allow you to have some flexibility. Got the old part and the new part from 1A Auto, which is a direct replacement fit. Putting the regulator in, I'm kind of going to do the opposite of how I took it out. I'm going to bunch them together, one on top of another, with the left side going in first, and just trying to snake it in there. And then once I get it in, make sure that I haven't pinched any of the harnesses and that I've got it situated correctly. Get your regulator so that the holes line up, and then go ahead and reinstall the 5 screws. I'm fast forwarding through tightening up on those 5 screws. Plug your window motor back in, and then clip in any of the harnesses that you might have unclipped to give yourself a little bit more room, and then get the wiring harnesses ready for the panel to go back on. Temporarily reinstall your master switch pack to line up your bolt holes to put your glass fit to the regulator. You can take the tape off now, and you can let the window come down, and you're going to want to guide the window down, make sure that it's still in the window seals on its sides, and then just place it on top of where it's going to be held in by the regulator. And once it's on the top there, you can start to loosen up the 10mm bolts. And then eventually the glass will seat itself down into those clamps. I'm going to fast forward as I loosen up those 2 10mm screws that hold the clamps on the top of the regulator where the glass is going to sit. And once I've loosened and the glass has fallen in, I'll tighten those back up. And here I'm doing just a quick test before I put the door panel back on to make sure that the window regulator is working correctly. Install that white door vapor guard, and then put your harnesses through the door panel, and reconnect the one that stays inside the door panel. Then go ahead and put the door lock knob on through the hole. Position the door panel on the sill correctly. Push in the cover that goes by the mirror, and just make sure everything's set to be tightened back up. Couple taps on the edges to seat those plastic clips. I'm reinstalling the Torx 30 screws, the 2 of them that go in the door handle switch pack assembly. I'm going to fast forward through reinstalling those 2 screws. Install the little pad that goes over those 2 screws. Reinstall the plastic rivet that goes in the edge of the door panel. Reinstall the door handle and make sure that you plug in your unlock and lock button, and then put your cable into the ball end of the cable into the socket there, and press down with the cable into the housing, and press it back in. Reinstall the Torx 30 screw. Tighten it up, and then close the cover.
We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.